Hello everybody and welcome back to our 4th Age Total War campaign as the Principality of Harondor. And we're starting off in an interesting position here. We are right outside Umbar City. This is kind of like the big ultimate goal of the early game of Harondor. If you get this and if you can hold it, you're in a really strong position. You basically become the new Harad. So obviously we want to clear out all of these territories, but this one is the biggest one for us to get. And I was expecting to be attacked after the end of the last episode, but the AI is not having it. They're grouping up their armies, which is actually worse for me, and it's going to compel me to go on the offensive against them. Now, the other thing I could do, and I'm kind of tempted to do this, is set up right outside the city and invite a big counterattack. I'm not sure how well that would work. We've got a lot of men here in a way, but you can see we've got about a half stack full in terms of the numbers of the size of the color in that banner, right? And they are going to have a lot more men in terms of raw numbers than we do. So if we put Umbar City under siege, and both of these armies hit us to relieve it, I'm afraid that would be a problem. So maybe instead what we want to do is go for a place that both armies can't reach, like Habad. Right? So we'll go back here and we'll put Habad under siege. Let's make sure that one army's going to be able to reach us. Yeah, that should be fine. I think the ground there is just okay. So we'll move here. We'll put this under siege. We'll build 2 rams because we do have 2 infantrymen, and we'll just wait for a counterattack. With these forces, we're going to keep moving. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to have you guys, let's see, 5 cav. Okay, we got to be a little careful. We can't go too far, but we can go into the trees, have a little ambush so the AI can't see us, and we've got movement points to withdraw if we have to. So that's what we're going to play things like at the beginning of this turn. Otherwise, everything is basically the same out here. We're making some cash, and we're at work on the fiefdom dominion in Akis Anabon. So that's going to bring us in even more money once that begins. Okay, we were not attacked by Harad, which is a little annoying actually. But their armies, ooh, they got both of their armies within striking distance. Okay, that is a problem now. Okay, but Tanari of near Harad East has come of age. That's actually fine. He's a competent governor, energetic, intelligent. Let's keep him right there, actually. We will go ahead and put this on local governance and make sure we've got a growth policy going. And now we don't feel like we need a governor in there. We maybe don't even need these plainsman mounted skirmishers anymore. Oh, yeah, we definitely don't, because we're going to have some garrisons joining them. Okay. We've got another family member who is really not good. This guy just, I think, came of age, and so we're just going to use him as a heavy cavalry unit, essentially. But he is useful also for transporting these other forces around the field. And so now, I guess what we could do with this force is proceed to Umbar itself. This, I think, is going to get their attention. There's a big army right out here. And I'm thinking I may want to turn and try to fight my way out of this. Because, again, I don't want both of these armies to hit me, and I don't want to count on hoping that one or both of these armies will turn to hit this force. So we'll turn instead, and we'll hit this army right here. They'll take that fight, and it's got a couple of archers and 1 unit of swords. So we're going to take some damage to our cav army, but I think this is the better move. All right, and we have 3 family members here currently. But we got to keep in mind that the traits that the generals get over time are going to change their usefulness in like a raw combat role. So, for example, as you get older in this mod, you get various traits to represent that, and that can really hurt you in terms of hit points. So it can be a bit of an issue. We've got these 2 infantry guys, but you know, I don't think we need to save money. Let's keep them out of the way for now. And we'll just get started with our, yes, with our mounted skirmishers. We'll bring them down. And everybody else be right here. This is actually really favorable for us. They chose the back side of the hill to deploy on. But, I mean, sometimes the thing that is a little annoying sometimes about Rome Total War is that the maps, while they do indicate, they do relate to the overall campaign map, but it's not always totally obvious when you're on the campaign map how that relation is going to work. So you may see like a rise of ground, but it's really hard to tell exactly where your men are going to be on that rise of ground, or if they're going to be just behind it, like in this case. And the maps are like, in some ways, like very big, right? Like this feels very realistic, like just the valleys and the scope and the scale of everything. So it looks great, but in terms of, you know, gameplay, I think sometimes it doesn't offer enough options almost compared to something like Medieval Total War, which, you know, has very rarely has something like this, where it's just like one long slope. Now, so this can make for interesting battles, but it's a situation I would have to imagine a commander would almost never let himself get in the first place, right? All right, head for the hills. No, no, no. We're gonna take you guys out. All right, let's. Footmen of Harad. Yeah, let's get the swords. Oh, okay, they changed their minds. Great. Gonna do a nice big charge down here. Ooh, general's leading that one. Oh, that should be great. Yes, yes, yes. Getting those swords taken out. They're wavering, routing. His front line is now gone. We've just got footmen. He's going to be very gone very, very soon. All right, there he goes. That's it. Yeah, that was very satisfying. And now, ooh, do I want to clean this up now? I don't know. What do they have in Habad? 3 units. In Karasnan, they've got 3. How about this? We park this army over here now and see if they will follow it, right? What are you going to do? You're going to attack this army that's out here. You're going to attack this army that's right here. They can't see this force. They can see this guy, though. So this, I made a mistake here. Well, hopefully they won't go and swat a tiny, you know, 2-man cav army when there's 2 big stacks roaming freely inside their territory, right? Hopefully they're going to see that that's the bigger threat. All right, and here's that city, Umbar. Okay, they've got a nobleman and another unit inside there. And this is usually a city that gets built up to train some good military stuff, I think. Maybe that's just when I'm playing Harad. Okay, Harad and Adunabar are allied. That's fine. It makes sense, right? They're allying themselves with the enemy of their enemy. But yeah, I think that's all we can do currently. So let's see how they like that. They like it fine, I guess. They're not going to hit us. Okay. Maybe we should have taken that army out, but, you know, attacking a big stack always feels risky with a light cav army like we have. Okay, and they've gone into Habad. All right. We've got movement points to put Umbar City under siege. Okay. Let's bring our scout back. Well, we've got 2. I'm really not concerned about Adabara. I don't think there's anything in the fog of war over here. Nah. No, they're good. Okay, so moving back over here with a scout then, what do we see? They've got an army in Athendad, but I don't care about that. Right, what we care about is what's going on here. And we've got a family member. We've got 4 units in Umbar right now. All right, so how do we handle this? We can hit this army with the Cav army. We can use this army to hit this. We can use this army to hit this and see what happens, I guess. Or we could hit this. Yeah, what I'd like to do is clean out some of these little forces so they don't just turtle up inside a city like Habad has done. Because sieges can take a long time, and you don't really want to wait them out. So let's hit this army. Okay, they're just going to go right back to Karasnan. Shoot. All right, you're probably going to go right back into Harad. Okay. Well, I'll hit you anyway, and you'll stand and fight because you think I'm not a threat. And maybe I'm not because this general is kind of bad. But let's fight this little skirmish here. Yeah, it's always tough to tell. Should you pursue? Should you risk a big battle in the field where you might take a lot of damage? Or should you let them, save your army and then let them get back to a city? I'm tempted just to hit the Corsairs, but the problem with that is that the swords are coming up right behind. So we need to let's do some damage here. And pull away. Let's get them kind of tired out. Alright, they're stopping to throw, but let's see, I hope they don't hit us at all. Alright, I think we escaped javelins. Nice. And yeah, they're down to 38. We haven't done anything in terms of melee. Look at that. Look at the power of these javelins. I mean, this is a really good unit. Corsairs have good armor. They're really quite strong in melee. But we're going to eliminate this unit with basically just javelins. All right, and I think, yeah, that's it. Didn't even have to fight them. Okay, so now is where the touchier part is going to come in. Let's pull away. We're probably going to eat some javelins here in the back. Nope. Okay. All right, so let's turn, and we're going to sandwich them, right? That's the idea. So first we're going to queue and attack into their back. They don't want that to, they don't bother they don't let that bother them. Okay, let's go here. Pretty good charge. And so I did the little trick where if you blow the horn, your general doesn't get into the melee. He stays back and, blows the horn. Oh yeah, we got it though. 24 men. So that saves you. Okay, great. That was pretty good. We lost something like 4 of these mounted skirmishers. Yeah, 3 actually. We got some recovery, I guess. Great. And we're going to get some of our bodyguard back anyway. Okay, it's still our turn, and we've got some big armies that could come out of these cities and smack us. So how cautious do I want to be is the question. What I could do here is put Umbar City under siege. I go like here with a big army. All right, boom. Now you can't train anything else, but also, and maybe more importantly, this guy can't get back in. If we hit him, where does he go? Oh, okay, he goes over to the fort. Well, that's a little annoying, but this is a way that we could get the fort, right? Let's go right next to it and attack. Oh, we lost. That seems unfair. We've got barely any movement points, so we can't hit him. All right, fine. So we're probably going to get attacked next turn, and that is going to be the battle for Umbar City. I guess we could move a very light army down here just to see what kind of disruption we could cause. Okay, we can't. Oh, that sucks. I thought you had more movement points. Well, that's going to be kind of rough. Let's move you down here, and they're going to have to choose which one they want to hit, I guess. That was a mistake on my part. Okay. We're making 881 Mirian this turn. So not very good. Reunited Kingdom is doing well. This is all very ominous because as soon as they start to win, we're going to share a border with them. Now, they don't have any victory conditions down here, so the Reunited Kingdom theoretically should just keep moving into Mordor and up the hill here. This is still owned by Adunabar. They took back Anorian, though. That's good. So they should be going up into this territory. The thing I'm not sure about, and I should probably check out, is how much territory Adunabar actually owns versus Rovanion, because Rovanion is at war with them. Okay, Reunited Kingdom does own this already. But there's some forts. It looks like they haven't gotten inside Mordor itself. Let's go up here towards like the Brownlands, and this is held by Adunabar, so you know, theoretically they should keep heading north and east and not trouble me because we're allies. We're trading, right? That would be nice. Well, let's see how this turn unfolds. No attack. Wow, okay. Harad, I think Harad is demoralized at this point. I think they just don't know what to do. We cut them off, and they're at war with one faction here. Are they still at war with Far Harad? Yeah, but they're not at war with Khand, so it's like they don't know what to do. Khand isn't attacking them yet, but I think they will at some point. And so they don't want to go after us. This is all a very, very satisfying stalemate as far as I'm concerned. And over here, too, yeah, they're just being so cautious. Okay, now they've got a big army outside of Karis Nan that looks like it's heading towards the fort here. So we could meet up our guys, maybe hit this army, but I think what I want to do first is take care of Umbar City. Yeah, 10 seasons until surrender. So we could theoretically wait around that whole time, but that is just going to be really bad for our supply traits. Let's take a look at this guy. We only have one family member leading this. He's competent. He's done, you know, workmanlike performance so far, right? He's not fantastic. He's a big army. He has fought in, I think, 2 engagements. Maybe in the very first episode or second episode, we had him fighting a big army of Harad outside of and then he returned to attack the crossing of the Harnan to protect the Heartland from Harad again. Has done quite well, but not spectacular. We'll see if he has what it takes to deal with this siege. Oh no, and I'm just noticing in my news here, we've got an assassin loose. Ulbar of the House of the Singing Bird has fallen. So yeah, maybe we did have another family member here originally, did we? No, I don't think so. But this is somebody else. Ulbar of the House of the Singing Bird. Yes, this guy has lost his general. Oh, that stinks. Okay. Yeah, so we've got an assassin loose, and we knew we had one. There's not a lot we can do about it. Okay, and so Tanari, he is the lord of Akasanaban. Great. All right, well, any other news? We're making some good amount of cash, especially now since assassins are targeting our family members. Let's just replace that, shall we? And we will assault Umbar. We've got 3 siege towers. I think that should be enough. Let's see what we're facing. Oh, this is the king. This is the ruler, Mutamid of Umbar. And he's got some pretty tough guys inside. Corsairs, Umbar Guard, Spearmen of the Serpent. Take a look at his traits. He is the Emperor of Harad, of course. And as a result, he is bearing the Serpent's Scimitar. The Serpent's Scimitar is a great heirloom of the House of the Black Serpent. Dusky and sinuous as the emblem of its house, the blade has been passed down from father to son since the days when the scions of the Black Serpent were mere desert chiefs raiding the coastal settlements of the Númenóreans. Its origins are obscure, but it is now a powerful token of this mighty family of the Empire of Harad. +1 law, +1 troop morale. So he's a poor governor, extravagant, subtle. So he's like a cunning kind of guy. Likes fancy stuff, but he's also harsh. He's also a poor commander, so he's nothing spectacular, but he's maybe kind of like a Louis the 14th or 16th, one of those guys, one of the Sun King, right? Extravagant, political, but not too spectacular. I don't know much about that period of history, so I don't know why I'm even hazarding talking about it. But he does have some bonuses to morale here from being a spendthrift, because he's so extravagant. He likes riches, but he's also not afraid to spend it on his men, so that's nice. But on the other hand, he's iron-fisted, so he expects a lot of his people. He's a city dweller. He is seasoned. Okay, this is good. I was talking about this earlier, right? So this is one of those age traits, and it doesn't tell you all the effects of the age traits because, you know, we like to keep things a bit of a mystery. But in this case, that's going to be bad for hit points, I believe. He's lazy, which is also bad for hit points. He's overbold, which is bad for hit points. And so all of that stuff adding up means I think he's going to be a pretty soft target. Well, what is not going to be a soft target, though, is these walls. Umbar has one of the better fortification systems, but I just love this. I love the pan down when you're fighting at Umbar because you get to see the pillar of Ar-Pharazôn off in the distance on that beautiful hill. So really, really nice stuff. I love, you know, I just talked about how Rome's maps, you know, do have some, I don't know if it's problems, but it's just like the maps themselves have maybe fewer terrain features sometimes than like something like medieval. But when you're fighting on maps like this and you can see the landscape and the lie of the land off in the distance, it is really, really nice. Okay, so this looks extremely formidable, doesn't it? We need to find a point where we can send a siege tower against the wall at minimal risk. And I think there's usually a place where you can do that. This would probably be it. Now the question is, do I really want to go over here? We can set up right here. Yeah, there's a gate. Okay, we'll do this. I know it seems a little cheesy, but we've got them under siege, right? I mean, we're doing this properly. All right, so we're gonna send. Let's take the smallest unit of Harondor footmen, and we'll put you in charge of this tower. Now, the other thing, if I wanted to be really cheesy, or again, this is maybe just a clever tactic, is we could take one of these siege rams and put it somewhere else. And I think the AI defenders get to decide where they're going to deploy after you've placed your men. So that would get some of them over there, right? I don't think I'm going to do that, though, partly just because I want the men nearby. I want everyone to be kind of close. So we'll put you here, you here. You could theoretically go after this. If there's a lot of enemies, I think, you know, having those two towers going is going to make it easier for the infantry. And this is a battle that I usually try to avoid, you know, fighting an actual city battle with a big infantry army, like in an assault type of situation. I prefer, as you've seen, to fight with my cavalry to get cities. It's just cleaner. And you take a lot of losses going into a city battle. But this is going to be actually fine. They're not even really defending that much. I could sacrificially, yes, let's do this. Because these siege towers are not only a tool for getting up the walls, they're also an offensive weapon. They do have missiles, like small ballistas. And so if we get over here and kind of stick close to this wall like we are, and just aim it at this Umbar guard, right? As we get closer, we're going to shoot some of them off the walls. All right, Corsairs are moving out, and all right, nice open city streets for us and for them. It's kind of a mixed blessing, but it's a bit easier to set up your forces in these Haradrian-style city layouts. All right, we're on fire at will, so once we get within range, we will start shooting at them. We want to avoid the towers, of course. But we'll get up here, we'll capture this one, and then probably come down. We could ignore that guy. We could go capture this tower and keep going across the walls and get this gate.
Your siege towers have reached the walls.
And that might be nice.
The enemy cannot hide behind these pitiful walls.
Okay, let's go a little bit further down here, and then we'll turn and go for that wall. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to move everybody kind of over here. I don't think we're going to go for this gate. We're going to instead go for this gate and this passage to the center, inside of which we find some spears of the serpent. This is a really cool looking unit. I mean, it's one of the first units in the very first version of the mod, I think. So that's been around since the very beginning. Okay, let's do it. Hopefully we're going to start shooting at some of these guys here. Any firing happening? No, I guess not. Oh, that's too bad. We had him on fire at will, but now there's not even the option. Huh. Let's try this. Drop. Pick it up again. Do we get the firing icon back? No. Okay. Well, let's just keep them here. Maybe they'll feel like they need to stay here to protect the wall. Okay, our men are up on the top, and now we're going to head over here. And, you know, I mean, if they're going to go that way,
Your men have taken the walls.
then maybe we will do this.
Your victory is clear.
We've got this tower, so that's going to mean that we'll start shooting at them.
Your siege towers have reached the walls. Now
All
the
right.
enemy cannot hide behind these pitiful walls.
All right, still not doing any damage. They're afraid to capture that one. Let's just move over to that gate in case we end up doing that. What are they going to do? If we get here, we capture this gate. We would also want to get that tower. And then we could go pretty much straight in. All right, let's go over here. Okay, they're going back. All right, I guess we're going to go over in this direction. Let's start moving that way. And all this wall stuff, we'll just try to keep them distracted here. We do have this gate. And I would think that we would be shooting down at the Corsairs as a result, but I guess not. Maybe they're too close. Okay, I think they have the 69. Maybe that's what they had originally. All right, Umbar guards not doing anything. Let's go and grab this tower. Now, I think that's far enough away. All right, we got them. I think they're stymied by us. They don't know which way to move. So we'll just leave them there and get our guys into position. All right, approaching the outer gate. No enemy nearby. And so we'll just go right here. And so far, they've got 2 units at the front, right? 2 of their tougher guys, it must be said. Corsair swords and the Umbar guard. So we'll just move up towards the center where they've got the Spearmen of the Serpent and the Serpent Black here strung out. Now we're definitely going to take some losses as we approach them. And as we get to the plaza, I'm sure these units are going to change their mind and start heading back. They're going to need to capture one of these towers, though, first before they do that. Yeah, there they go, actually. All right. So I'm going to get this unit of 24, 26 men. Okay, yep. See, they want to get us. They want to make sure. All right, I'm just going to grab this gate again. All right, we got it. And so now I could have sworn, is there something different about how the gates work now? Is this a patch? Do these walls just not shoot in? Because one of the things that you could rather famously do is capture the towers, you know, in Rome and use them against the enemy inside. This is not seeming to work. You know, maybe we decided to take out that functionality because it was too exploitable, but I can't remember. Well, at any rate, we are doing good work by keeping them well away from us, and we probably need to order up our ranks. We've got so many archers. Let's send them forward with spear protection right behind. And then we'll go with like a unit of swords. What are we doing here? Oh, did I order you down? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Whoops. I forgot where all of my guys were. Okay, that stinks. We actually took out some of their units for some reason. I'm very surprised by that. Okay. Okay, so now we want to halt where we can actually shoot at the Serpent Black. And we should start dropping them. Yeah, they're taking some losses already. Again, they're going to do damage, especially with the Ruler's unit because there's so many of them. One of the problems, or the dangers with using the Serpent Black as a horse archer is that because it's a family member only unit, they tend to have fewer men per unit. It's like 20 or 30 or so. But with the Ruler, they you can get up to 40 or even more. So this is much more dangerous than you would normally think. And we're not doing that much to it yet, really. I mean, we are taking them out gradually, but all right, everybody is at the plaza. That's really unfortunate I did that mistake with the spears, because I feel like the Umbar Guard would be hanging back there still if I didn't do that. Okay, now we want to get our armsmen ready. Our guys are no longer on skirmish, so move them around. But in the meantime, let's take our lighter cav on a little circuit of the walls here. We still own all of these towers. We can bring them up behind the general. Now, the Umbar Guard, they're going to do a good amount of damage to us. Or at least they're going to hold out for a while. We might even kill the Emperor here before our cav gets around, which would be fine. Let's take you off skirmish. Bring you a little bit farther. Yeah, really beautiful looking unit. Both of these, actually. Alright, they're getting close now. This is a fear-causing unit as well. Yeah, intimidated by nearby enemy. We're now losing slightly. Let's get another unit up there. Right here. And where are you? Okay, Cav is now a little bit further down. We'll move them over. And we could come in behind the Umbar Guard. Alright, Serpent Black is in the fight. Well, I guess we could move our general up a little farther. I'm going to save these skirmishers for the plaza, I think. Alright, we're holding out, but you can tell we're losing out in this one. 33 men. They've got 41. Oof. And this is a good unit. I mean, I wouldn't use them in this way necessarily, but they are going to get some kills. All right, let's hold back with the spears. If the cavalry pushes through, we're going to engage them. All right, I think I want to work with the lancers here. We'll leave the javelins back. Alright, we're going to have to keep our eye on them. I don't want them on skirmish here. It would be better than just completely ignoring them, possibly. So I need to keep my eye on them so that they don't get charged suddenly from the plaza. Okay, who's routing? That's my guys, my Harondor armsmen. Okay, we've got the footmen there now, and we've got more swordsmen, so very good. We're all formed up, or at least we are, we've got plenty of space here. That's the nice thing. If we can get into a good position, right, no one's coming out of the plaza, we should do some nice damage. Let's wait for these guys to route through us. I don't want to have that to worry about. Alright, he's only got one man left. Okay, they're turning around. I'd like them to rejoin here, because otherwise our charge is going to be screwed up. And it may not even be a proper charge. Alright, there he goes. I think now's our chance. Is this going to be a charge? Lower lances, please. Yes. Oof. Alright, we got some. Took some losses, but they're routing. Awesome. Alright, so now it's just the plaza. Alright, well, let's be a little careful. We can bring our swordsmen up. I want to bring the horsemen of the Harondor back over here first. Do the same kind of thing, and we're going to pull them out of the plaza with our archers. There, we're not quite in range. This is a very big plaza. So let's go. I mean, I really want the swordsmen to be like this so we can hit them with our cavalry. Alright, but there we go. We're in range now. Some more archers over here, and they're going to arrive. Let's bring the skirmishers over. And as soon as we enter the plaza, as soon as we set foot, these guys are going to come to hit us. So maybe what we want to do is distract them with our lighter cav. Right, form up, and then we'll try to do a good charge. They're shaken. We need to push them out of the plaza with a cavalry charge. Alright, I think we're just about formed up. Is this going to be a good charge? Lower those spears. Yes. Now, they may not rout because they're still technically inside the plaza. So, alright, we need to get down here, get their attention. So those spearmen don't just slaughter our guys. Shoot. Not going to be in time. Well, there goes a unit of horsemen of the Harondor. We can get them back. We can get different guys from the capital. And honestly... Oh, gosh. Let's actually pull them out, because I think we just killed all of their swordsmen. Okay, we've actually preserved quite a few. Let's get the general over here. I don't think he's fought very much in any of the fights he's been in. But we'll get him in a sort of a column formation, so he's less likely to drag into these spears on accident. We're getting some javelins in the back. Not doing a lot of damage, and honestly, what we need to do anyway is just do a lot of, cavalry charging, because they're not going to rout. We're pushing them into the plaza with our swords. I mean, this is good on the one hand because it means we're winning. Alright, that's it. Let's get our skirmisher cav out of the way. Alright, let's get both of our cav. And we will do a couple of cycle charges, and that should be enough. Alright, as soon as the guys all join up here, now they're technically marching quickly, but they're certainly taking their time. We're winning easily, 30 men. Yeah, we definitely get this. We want to just avoid a long drawn-out battle that's going to result in more losses. Okay, they're ready. You want to wait for all the horses to stop adjusting, and then we can go straight in. This should be a very nice charge. Yeah, this'll do it. Alright. There we go. I was maybe overthinking it. But yeah, they took out 4 men very quickly there. Maybe it was my own horses who thudded into the backs and caused some damage. That's a clear victory. We lost almost 200 men. So it is always risky doing those siege assaults, but hey, it's for Umbar. I think it's worth it. All right, Umbar City, and I think we have to lay desolate here. There's a lot of money to be made, and it's a yellow face, so we'll go with that. Now, we are going to capture a wonder, and this is probably going to be fairly loud. Oh, yeah. Okay. You'll just have to take my word for it. Okay, here's all the text, though, actually. This is the same thing, but it has the wonder music, and it's pretty loud to me anyway. So I'm not going to read all this. It's quite a lot. I arguably went a bit overboard with this one, but you know, it's worth it. There's so very few landmarks in Middle Earth, let alone landmarks like this, right, where it's not something that's you know, directly like I don't know what else is there. You get the stuff in Gondor, right? You've got the stuff that's directly related to the heirs of Elendil. But stuff like this is very rare, and so it seems to call for having lots of text. So I'll just have it here if you're interested in reading. You can sort of pause it. But yeah, this is the story of Ar-Pharazôn. He arrives in Middle-earth to challenge the rule of Sauron. A pillar is set up at the point of his landing, and we figured it'd be around here, I guess. All right, and yes, we've sacked Umbar City. Wonderful, wonderful news. And let's see what we can recruit down here. I don't think it's anything too different. It's going to be all the Haradrian stuff. And in fact, I think this might even be an Outland Dominion province. Yeah. The one thing that is different, this is going to be an Outland, which means we're not going to get all of our usual stuff like we do over in like the Near Harad region. But we do get an assimilation unit. And so this is a unit that you will find in like a big, important enemy settlement. And again, if we click this, it'll just give us some background about what this means. The local population of a major power's homeland that has been captured by your faction. They represent recruits trained to fight in a local style and will often offer substantial flexibility or unique benefits to a faction that can train them. Assimilation units differ from native units in their use of local weapons or fighting styles, and they differ from levies in their level of skill and training. And that's the thing. The local levies that you get are going to be the lower tier stuff. So everyone gets those every place that's not a homeland, right? You're going to get some kind of local low-tier unit. Footmen of Harad, plainsmen, skirmishers, right? This is really basic Haradrian stuff. It's not terribly exciting, but it gives your armies some variety, and in some cases they can be really useful. Assimilation units are a real prize. Now this, in this case, is Retainer Spearmen. So we get a Harondor colored version of Spearmen of the Serpent. These soldiers serve the new masters of Umbar as disciplined and proud companies of spearmen, armed and trained in imitation of the spears of the serpent. Now that the nobility which the latter were sworn to protect are no more, it falls to the retainer spearmen to march to battle under other lords. These men will prove a stubborn force for cavalry and infantry alike, though their lack of experience will show if pressed, and they should be supported by missile and mounted troops where possible. So this is great because this fills a gap in Harondor's roster. You'll notice that Harondor has really strong footmen at tier 1, right? For that first tier, Harondor footmen. But they can run into trouble against Cav. As we saw in that bridge battle, where granted we were attacking across the river, that's always tougher. But you know, we ran into trouble fighting those spearmen of the serpent, those heavier cavalry. But retainer spearmen are going to come with substantially more defense, higher attack by several points, and they're going to have better morale. They're going to, interestingly, have a combat bonus in the deserts, which is probably going to be useful not too far in the future for us. And they can even hide in long grass, which is really cool and kind of a rare little feature for the mod that I don't often exploit. So Umbar is great for that purpose. This is going to help give us a higher tier spear unit and really flesh out our roster. What else do we get here? Well, Umbar also has lots of stuff that we can destroy. Very notably, of course, the Royal Barracks. This is the one-of-a-kind, I think it's the 5th tier barracks that is only found here in Harad's territory. I think every faction, or many factions, yeah, not every faction, but some factions get a barracks like this, which is like the highest tier thing, but you can only build it in like your capital. Okay, so now we can destroy this. We're going to get 7,000 Mirian for that. So that's great. And they've also got a Corsair stronghold. Now, this is a specialization building for Harad. It allows them to build some of their Corsair ships. I think 2 different ship units come out of this, and they're quite good. And so now they can't train them anymore, right? But the other thing is this allows them to train, I believe this is where they can get their Corsairs and their archers. So maybe this requires another building. But regardless, we can't do anything with this, so we can destroy it for some money. The tribal grants we're going to keep. The Naval Haven. I think that we don't need this. Because the Haven, as you can see, we can build our Southron ship of war. We're not really a naval faction. Like, if you look at Haradland, what we can build. We can make a Southron ship of war, which is that. And I don't think we can build any higher, like, fleet stuff. Yeah, we can go for a shipwright, but what does that do? Extra experience, right? And some more trade. So, you know, this is good. But it's not the same thing as what is this? Yeah, a Haven here. This is what, the 2nd tier. So we've already got that. And this is a totally different thing. This is for factions like the Reunited Kingdom and Harad that have sort of a historically strong naval presence. And so in addition to the port building, this is where you train like your ships of war. So military stuff. We're going to go ahead and destroy that because we're never going to be able to build really good ships. I mean, if we look at the building browser here, it's not going to show up as an option for us to go with a naval haven. We've got our regular havens, the ports, so we'll just get rid of that. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, yep, all of this stuff is fine and undestroyable, by the way. The crop rotation, that's really good farming. Citadel walls are, of course, really good, and we're going to have to keep those. We've got a healer. We've got the open policy. I think we can keep this. I don't think we need to build our own. And this building, you know, if you're new to the mod, we haven't talked about this yet. Every single settlement has one of these buildings that looks like a book with your own faction symbol on it. And what this does is it gives you information about your faction. So it always appears, I think, at the end, like sort of the last position of the settlement's buildings. This is undestroyable, and internally I believe this is also used to give your faction various bonuses and penalties as you are the player. But at any rate, this is kind of some tips about strategy, so you can think about it that way to give you some hints. And another important building would be, well, this gives you some general mechanical information, right? What happens when you overextend yourself, how do cultic and conversion work, how do elven and dwarven populations work, what are these permanent forts, settlement policies. There's just a lot of stuff here. Okay, but the only thing I think we can do here, realistically, is get rid of their homeland and then start building our own provincial pacification. We're almost up to 30,000 again, so that's wonderful stuff. Let's see. You're a competent governor. I mean, I would like to give Umbar to a really good governor. I don't think I have one. Okay, we got this guy. He's adept. He's a city dweller, but he's only got the bad stuff. He's lazy. He's intelligent. Unlearned. I don't like it. I don't like it. So we will wait to find somebody better. Because you, I think, are doing okay out in the field. What we're going to do here is we'll leave him here. He can actually retrain these mercenaries to get them back to full. We'll train a scout. And then in the following season, we'll take him out so he does not get the lordship. And then we'll clean up the rest of this. Because I think that's the stage we're at, folks. We're basically at the point now where, having captured Umbar, we're going to deal with these larger armies. Let's see. What should I do with you, by the way? We could capture this fort, but I'm kind of tempted to bring him over to Umbar. Well, I think we're going to do this in a following episode. We will merge these units, right? Figure out what makes sense. Get a good cav army together. Get the remnants down here into Umbar City. And then get... then we'll deal with all of this, because we've got a lot yet to do. We've dealt them a big blow, and you can tell that they're kind of slow to react to it. I think we did a really good job initially cutting off their far eastern territories from their central territories, and then following that up with Akasanabon, and then just going right for Umbar. This is That's kind of the pattern I usually follow, and it usually works out pretty well, but there can be some very hairy moments indeed. Now, I think we're doing this all not a moment too soon because, yeah, like when this falls, we're gonna be potentially in danger from the Reunited Kingdom. So we have to give some thought to our homeland in a way that we really haven't, because we've just been content to let the Dunedain fight with themselves. So we need to really get like some spies up there and start thinking about, if we see a Reunited Kingdom army marching down towards the Poros, what are we going to be able to do about it, if anything? So that's going to all be in the next episode. So I hope you'll join me for that. Until then, everybody, take care.